Hi there and welcome. Thanks for attending the Communications webinar. My name is Emily Fox. I'm the Virtual Learning Admission Counselor at HACC, Central Pennsylvania's Community College. And today you'll have the opportunity to learn about the Communications degree at HACC, which is offered fully online. Before we get started, please know that the presenters are the only ones with microphone rights, but you are able to communicate using the chat box there on the right-hand side. So please feel free to ask any questions and comment as we go on in the webinar today. HACC has 5 campus locations in central Pennsylvania. I want to give you a little background about HACC before we jump into the communication program more in depth. The 5 campus locations in central Pennsylvania are Gettysburg, Harrisburg, Lancaster, Lebanon, and York. So the full communication program is available online and at the Harrisburg campus, and then some of the required courses may be available at other HACC campuses. I'm excited to have other presenters with me today. Throughout the program, you'll be hearing from Laura Davis, HACC professor, Will Guntram, department chair, and also from a HACC graduate, Hannah Murray. So before we delve into the details to the communications program, I'd like to pass the microphone to Will. He'll give you a background on himself and also his excellent faculty team here at HACC. Will.
Thanks, Emily. Good afternoon. I'm Will Guntram, Chair of the Communications, Humanities, and the Arts Department. I've been with HACC in various roles such as adjunct faculty, Associate Academic Dean, and Interim Division Dean since 2003, and most recently as a department chair in the fall of 2013. The communications discipline currently has 10 full-time faculty and approximately 21 adjunct faculty. In addition to teaching, our faculty have significant experience working in the various areas of communications, such as public relations, fundraising, news reporting and broadcasting, journalism, advertising, and human resources, to name a few. This professional experience provides students with courses that will prepare them to potentially enter their chosen fields, while the degree and its 3 tracks is also articulated for transfer with several local colleges and universities. Our program has been carefully structured to ensure students receive the most current coursework, theories, and applications in the areas of human communications, journalism, and public relations, and can be completed online. Our featured presenter, Laura Davis, currently serves as an assistant professor and lead faculty of the communications discipline, and started her career at HACC in the fall of 2005 as an adjunct instructor in speech communications. As an adjunct, she completed Online Academy and began teaching online as well at the Lebanon and Lancaster campuses. In 2009, she joined the full-time faculty in Harrisburg and helped create the new communications major at HACC. This fall, she transitioned to an 80-20 virtual Lebanon position supporting Communications 101 and the communications program online, as well as the Lebanon campus. Laura has been teaching for 14 years after receiving her master's at Shippensburg in Communications Studies in 2001. She holds a Bachelor's of Arts in Broadcast from Penn State University Park. She spent 2 years at DeSales University and for the communications majors. Her career began in public television and commercial radio. She then spent 6 years in nonprofit public relations and fundraising for Penn State Mont Alto, Penn State Harrisburg, and the Allentown Symphony. Laura, I'll pass the mic to you.
Thank you, Will. Unfortunately, I have a head cold, so it may be a little bit hard to hear me. As Will said, my name is Laura Davis, and I'm Assistant Professor of Communications at Harrisburg Area Community College, and I appreciate you joining us for today's webinar about the communications program. Communications continues to be one of the most popular college majors. I believe this is because of the diversity of careers you can pursue with a communications degree. In addition, in the U.S. Bureau of Labor reports that there continues to be job growth in the communications field. So what is the field of communication? Communications is a diverse discipline covering such areas as human communication, mass media, journalism, public relations, health communication, intercultural communication, political communication, and communications law, and this is just to name a few options. In its broadest sense, according to the National Communication Association, the discipline of communication focuses on how people use messages to generate meanings within and across various contexts, cultures, channels, and media. The discipline promotes the effective and ethical practice of human communication. As Will said, our communication program began at HACC in 2012. We now have about 200 majors pursuing communications. The focus of our program is transfer to a baccalaureate degree granting institution. All of our top 10 transfer colleges and universities have communication programs. In addition, students can receive an associate's degree in communications, which may prepare them for entry-level positions. Our program is divided into 3 tracks that help a student define their area of interest and study. These tracks are the more general human communication track, the journalism or mass media track, and the public relations track. All students in the program complete 4 core communications courses as part of the associate's degree. In addition, all students complete English 207, Introduction to Literature, Math 202, Introduction to Statistics. These courses are often required for transfer institutions. Each track also has a variety of elective communications courses. As you can see in the Human Communications track, there are a variety of courses that you can take as part of that track, as well as an additional 3 credits for transfer. You could take a media writing class as that 3 credits for transfer, as an example. In the journalism track, students take Communications 221, Media Writing, 222, News Writing and Reporting, and can take a variety of other electives, whether they might be in English, communications, such as the public relations courses, or maybe some of the human communications courses. And in the public relations track, students take Communications 211, Public Relations, which is the introductory course, Communications 221, Media Writing, and Communications 261, Public Relations Writing. And then there are additional 5 credits of transfer electives, which can come from other communications courses also. After completing the required track courses, as I said, students can take courses outside their own track to meet the remaining general education electives. The communications program is taught by a variety of communications faculty, and as Will said, they have varied backgrounds in communication, as well as many with work experience in the field. Students in the program can easily transfer to a 4-year college. Our program has direct transfer to the state university system, as well as easy transfer to many other schools. The program is offered in full at the Harrisburg campus, and much is available at the Lancaster and York campuses. And of course, the program is offered in full through the virtual campus. The Gettysburg and Lebanon campuses offer some of the Human Communication track courses. As the major continues to grow, more courses will be added at these locations. As part of the program, all majors begin an e-portfolio in their introductory course, COM 110, and completed in their capstone course, COM 290. This e-portfolio will house your resume as well as samples of your work. It could be photos, digital video, or whatever you may need to provide a prospective employer. You simply need only provide them the web link. In the short time that the program has been in place, we have had multiple graduates. Some of them have gone into the working world, while others have transferred to four-year institutions. Now I'd like to introduce you to one of our outstanding students and 2015 graduate, as well as 2015 commencement speaker, Hannah Murray. She will share her thoughts about the program, and at the end of the session, if you have questions specifically for me, I will be happy to address them.
Hi, everyone. First and foremost, I want to say that Professor Davis was one of my favorite instructors at HACC. And my story is similar to other HACC students in the sense that I'm not a traditional student. I'm an adult student. I work full-time. And I graduated high school in 2006 and went off to college to start realizing the vision that I had for myself at that point in time. But of course, being young, I made a lot of foolish decisions, and it landed me back home in search of a job. My time in the workforce, it did two things. One, it exposed my weaknesses and really helped me to understand what I needed to improve on. And two, I was able to learn ways that I could streamline my blueprint, so to speak, to accomplish my dreams. It took a lot of financial planning and mapping out the directions to those dreams, and a lot of people ask me how I'm able to manage work and school, and I tell them that it's not easy without a solid support system. I had to work hard to get back into school and finish. I had to save as much money as I could. I had multiple jobs, and I just had to overcome a lot of different adversities that presented themselves throughout the years. What I found appealing about HACC was, as a full-time worker, the flexibility that I could have with studying. The virtual learning at HACC really appealed to me, and it fit into my hectic schedule. Secondly, I was primarily funding my education out of pocket, so it was vital that tuition costs were affordable. And lastly, I planned to get a bachelor's degree. So it was very imperative that my credits were transferable to other institutions. And those were the three determining factors as to why I chose HACC. Upon enrolling into HACC, I wasn't sure what program I wanted to pursue. I had early interests in English and secondary education, but I felt that my reading and writing skills were on par. So I looked into how communications could enhance my growth. My professional and even my personal relationships really suffered at that time due to a lack of effective communication. So I decided that communication was the best area to study and invest in for self-improvement. I also had an interest in coordinating and planning events, from traveling with family and friends down to parties and celebrations. It was really something that I enjoyed, so I opted for the public relations selection. What I gained from the communications department at HACC is truly invaluable to me. I mean, just expanding my knowledge has helped me to be more confident in my communication skills. And HACC, as you can see, as you saw earlier, Professor Davis went over all of the COM courses. They really integrate to help you understand communication on a global scope. And I think firsthand, understanding how we interact with each other really helps in real life scenarios. Like, the material is just practical for daily use. And from an interpersonal to organizational standpoint, you're better equipped to manage communication and essentially become effective in sending and decoding messages. From a media perspective, you gain an overall understanding of the dynamics of each medium used in our globalized society. I just think that the courses at HACC really give you an adequate understanding of how information is disseminated. And when I come across people who are unsure of what to study in college, or maybe they're going back to school and don't know where to start, I always recommend communications as a start, because it's just a fundamental aspect of our civilization, and it really helps to broaden your worldview and ultimately help you to master your craft, whatever that craft may be. Because of HACC, I have a renewed outlook on the future. My ultimate goal is to become a college professor, and in order to accomplish that goal, I want to experience many different fields of work, specifically within the communication discipline. So I'm open to, the opportunities that may come my way. And, the last thing I want to say before I go is that I am indeed grateful to have been under the tutelage of the expert instructors at HACC. I'm just appreciative of everything they have done for me. So I want to thank all of them: Professor Davis, Professor Wilson, Professor Hill, Professor Gingras Moore, and Professor Gillis, and the other faculty as well. Just the entire communication program at HACC. I just think you guys did an excellent job, and I'm very proud to have graduated from HACC and learned everything that I have learned. Thank you, guys.
Hannah, thanks so much for sharing. It is great to hear that you were able to utilize virtual learning while you were working, and from the communications program you were able to strengthen your confidence and your perspectives, which you have today and you portray so well. So thank you for sharing, and I'm glad that HACC's program was of benefit to you and many other students and students to come. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to transition the program to talk about some of the resources available. I know that Hannah may have used some of these resources as well, but one thing I do like to point out is many resources and services are available to students, and even if you are fully online, you're still able to come on campus and utilize the resources that are specifically on campuses as well. So I will go through some of these resources here. One resource that students love is tutoring. Tutoring can be done on campus or online. Through Smart Thinking, it's available 24/7. So for the individuals that are busy and working crazy hours, or they're in a different time zone, they're able to receive the tutoring that they need at whatever hour. Counseling and advising is also available to students. Most virtual learning students will work with virtual counselor Gina Bowers-Miller, and I have her contact information on the next slide here when I go through the admission steps. Career Services is another resource. Career Services can help students write a resume, practice interviewing skills, and assist with making connections to potentially land an internship or a job. Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society is available to students. Also, sports teams. At HACC, we have basketball, cross country, golf, soccer, and volleyball teams available to our students. One other key resource, Veterans and Military Services. HACC is the second highest institution with veteran attendance in Pennsylvania, and today happens to be Veterans Day, so we honor those who serve today, but really every day, and we are proud to have military individuals coming through us. Students also have the opportunity to study abroad. We've had students who have taken classes while they're in Costa Rica, England, Hawaii, Zambia, and many other places throughout the world. The bookstore is another resource for students that's available on all campus locations and online. And two other resources that I will point out that are specific to virtual learning students at HACC. The first resource is the Student Resource Center and Lounge. If you are a student at HACC taking online classes, you'll access your work through the learning management system called Brightspace by Desire to Learn. In Brightspace by Desire to Learn, students can click on the Student Resource Center and Lounge where they can interact with students, faculty, ask any questions, say any comments. It's really like a lounge that you would think in a college, but it's all online and you are not alone going through taking online classes at HACC. One other resource I will mention, and please know these are not all of the resources at HACC, I'm just touching on a few. But one other resource I'll mention is iTunes U Courses and Collections. Many of you may have heard of iTunes, the music, but iTunes U are courses and collections that are free supplemental material. You do not receive any college credit, but it's a great way to either study up on a particular area or supplement a class that you're going through. So now that you know some of the resources, I'd like to transition to the steps to admissions. At HACC, the first step to becoming a student is to complete the application online at hacc.edu. It's free to fill out the application. From there, we recommend students complete their FAFSA, which is free application for federal student aid. That can be done at fafsa.gov. Any type of financial aid, such as scholarships, grants, loans, the first step is filling out your FAFSA. After doing the application and completing the FAFSA, students go through placement testing in the areas of math, reading, and writing. Placement testing is not timed, but it usually takes students about 2 hours to go through. And, excuse me here while I go back. Going back to placement testing, it is not timed, but usually takes about 2 hours to go through it, and it's not pass or fail. Really, it's to determine what would be the best class for you to start at as a student. Placement testing can be done online or on a campus. From there, students attend new student orientation. We encourage students to attend the orientation on a campus, but we do understand many of you are coming from a distance or you're working full-time while you have kids or, just juggling a lot in your life. So the new student orientation is also available online. From there, students register for classes. Gina Bowers-Miller is our virtual learning counselor who works very closely with students looking to take online classes. You can see her email address listed there on the slide. Currently, if you're looking to take spring classes for spring 2016, registration is open and the majority of classes start on January 19th. So after registration, then tuition is paid. So those are the steps to admissions. And this next slide here, any questions that you may have, feel free to type it there in the chat box. Our contact information is also listed here on this slide. You heard from Laura Davis about the communications program here at HACC. Emily Fox, myself, you've heard from me as far as some generic HACC information and admissions. You heard from Will, the department chair, at the beginning of the presentation. All of our contact information is listed there, and we are happy to help. We want you to succeed, as well as you'll see HACC's phone number and web page. At this time, if you have any questions, feel free to type it in the chat box. We are all present here. Maybe we even have some questions for Hannah, who went through as a student here and is now a graduate. I'll give you just a minute or two to type any questions that you may have. And feel free to jot down our contact information. If you can't think of any questions now, maybe you will tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now. We're always here to help.